Yep, here we go, folks. Back again. Yep, I'm sitting atop of the NRG Stadium. I'm in the stats room. No stats around here, though. Yep, that's your man. This man, Adolphus A.D. Moore. Texans have not as even up their series going into the bye week. They took on the New Orleans Saints, who they were supposed to did a scrimmage with and did a play the game. Well, they did play the game, but they didn't scrimmage down there. So anyway, a lot of what would have transpired. Got a chance to actually see it all on the field today. The Houston Texans defeat the New Orleans Saints today by a score of 20-13. And Texas took advantage of all the opportunities today. One thing that didn't happen that happened last week in Atlanta, the fact that the Texans defense stood up at the end and they closed it out. As D'Amico Ryan said, good teams, good defense, you have to stand up and make a play. And in the end, they stood up and made a play. So, but quickly as before, and as you probably see that gentleman with his avionics sunglasses on, I'm not sure if he's driving a Cessna 737 or whatever. But anyway, we'll get to Elwin Henderson in a little bit. But before we do that, we need to have Mr. Ross to step in here and greet us and pay the bills. And here we go with Mr. Ross, and then we'll get down to how did the Texans manage to defeat the New Orleans Saints today, 20-13.
Hello, I'm Ken Ross with the Ken Ross Insurance Agency. There are certain things that are important in our lives: our health, our safety, and our loved ones. With over 40 years of experience, I've seen just how important insurance can be. I value the importance of being a part of my community and being there when they need me. Insurance is important everywhere, but being here in South Texas, it is absolutely essential. From flood, home, auto, and life insurance, let the Ken Ross Agency be your agency of choice.
Yep, that's right, folks. I'm back. That's right. 281-235-5952. The Ken Ross Agency for all your insurance needs and some other. Let's face it. And you're talking about a guy that'll treat you just with utmost respect, courtesy, and kind. That is the Ken Ross Agency. As I stated earlier, I'm sitting high top of the NRG Stadium. I'm in the stats room, and I don't see any stats going on around here. I don't see any money laying around here neither. But anyway, hey, as I mentioned earlier, the Houston Texans defeated the New Orleans Saints today, 20-13. A couple of things happened, and I'm gonna make these quick observations. The sackless, for CJ Stroud has now been sacked. He went 14 plus quarters before he got his first sack. He also thrown his first interception too. But that's okay. Like I say, the Texans came out of it, and we knew he wasn't going the whole NFL season without throwing an interception. We knew he wasn't going the whole year without getting sacked. Not with facing the New Orleans Saints. And the day they brought the lumber. In fact, they almost like they want to make CJ pay for a couple of times. He didn't get a sack because I thought he wasn't going to get up for a little bit there, Elwin.
Yep.
Your comments as we dig into this game, man.
Well, first off, like you said at the outset, the most exciting thing to me was they were in the same position that they were in last Sunday in Atlanta and couldn't get the stop to preserve the victory, and they got it done today. That's exciting. This defense has continued to grow every single game. It's exciting to see where they are. They're one game out of first place. The Jaguars are at 4-2. They are tied for second place. They're playing very good on both sides of the ball, as well as on special teams. So I think they've done a great job, as D'Amico said in his press conference, of playing complementary football. And like you said, yeah, CJ, when he came in, and I know you were still in the locker room, he was asked about that first interception, and he said, well, it's disappointing. But he said, when I saw it happen, I was determined I was going to try to make the tackle, and I got the right angle and grabbed at his ankles, and I think that's when he started tumbling a little bit. But he said, I was so proud to see Nico Collins not give up and get the ball when he fumbled it away. And really, the only damage, we talked about that, the only damage it did was to CJ's pride, because I know he was wanting to not throw one today. But if you're going to throw an interception, that's the best possible outcome. It cost the Texans only 9 yards. They get the ball back immediately. CJ shakes it off, leads the team down the field for 56 yards and the touchdown.
Yeah, he hit Schultz, and you know the biggest controversy, and I'm not, and my controversy is probably not the word, is the fact that because all of a sudden we were sitting there trying to figure out, okay, you know, because after he hit Dalton Schultz on a 1 yard pass after that turnover. But the thing about it, the change of possession was roughly about within a 10-second period. They intercepted the ball during the course of the play, the fall fumble, but you had a change of possession. And we were sitting there I'm going like, okay, is this a continuation of the drive? And everybody was going like, yeah. And I kept going like, no, it can't be, because you had a change of possession. As soon as that ball is intercepted, that's a change of possession.
Yes.
Wherever that drive stops, and then all of a sudden, and then during the course of that play, and it was a continuation, but it was a change of possession immediately after the fumble, and the Texans and Nico Collins recovered the fumble. They picked it up, and then they drove the field. So you had roughly two changes of possessions within about a 10 to 12 second period.
Yeah, and I don't know that I have ever seen the two changes of possession that quick in my entire life in a football game at any level.
Right. Yeah. It was. I mean, we were going back and forth up in the press box. You know, me and a couple of other colleagues. And I kept saying, "Hey, that's a change of possession." You know, and they say, "No, it's a continuation." No, it can't be. Anytime that ball, you have an actual change of possession. It was a continuation, but you had a change of possession, two changes of possession. Well, really, two changes of possession that reverted back. 1st and 10 when they picked the ball up and went 59 yards out. So anyway, everything worked out for the better for the Houston Texans were concerned today. One of the bright spots. I think the defense overall had a very good game today. But one of the bright spots is Sheldon Rankins. And Sheldon, in fact, I'll just let Sheldon, because the question I raised to Sheldon, and it was an interesting question. But let's listen from Sheldon Rankins after the game, because he had a stat line that I don't care who it is. They had a stat line that we should be proud of.
From a free perspective, that's a load for the day, man.
Yeah. Anytime I get a chance to beat up on my old guys, I'm definitely gonna relish in that moment. Like I said, Ramchek, Caesar, Eric, all of them. I played with those. They ran crunch. I made the tackle, and I just made a comment when I stood up. I'm like, I don't know why y'all ran that play. Y'all know I know that look. Y'all know I know that. Seen that in practice all the time. I know that. Just kind of joking around. But I think each and every one of us came into this game understanding that, man, getting the 3-3 going into the bye was going to be huge. And then to be able to again go out there and like I said, I feel like I played a solid game too. So you'll just be able to go out there and make plays for this defense, and feed all other guys making plays, and kind of get this thing going. It was fun to be a part of it.
Yeah, my portion of the question got cut off, because I asked Sheldon, I said, your stat line, his stat line for the game, Elvin, total of 6 tackles, 5 solos, and a quarterback sack.
Wow.
I mean, that's at a 3 technique tackle. Okay. I mean, 5 solos at a 3 technique. I mean, we know Brian. Cashman. You know, he was like a heat seeking missile out there today. He had a total of like 15 tackles, 9 and 6. 9 solos. But from a 3 perspective,
Right.
6 tackles, 5 solos, and one of them was a quarterback sack or a loss of 11 yards. Sheldon, I thought Sheldon had an outstanding game today, man. I mean, and he admitted he was pumped. He was pumped because that was the team he started out with, and but he showed up, and and the thing about it, Sheldon is he's very unassuming guy in the locker room, and so when we walked in, he was coming out the shot. Say, hey, man, I want to make sure I get you before we get out of here. He said, yeah, let me get dressed, and he got all pretty, and he put them nice nodders on and everything, and then it's almost like you should have had the camera guy went like, okay, take one. But I mean, you got to applaud him, but he acknowledged the fact that they were disappointed how that game in Atlanta got away from them, and they had to make the stop. I think that was, and I think somebody mentioned the fact that what they spent with D'Amico at least 45 minutes in the total team deal talking about that, what you got to do if you want to be a good team. You got to be able to come in there and make shut somebody down, take it away from them. And so, and that was the reason. And I'll raise the question now because I asked D'Amico about, because I felt like in the third quarter when they had a chance, it was a pass interference. They got 1st and 10 on the 2-yard line. To me, I thought that should have been where they really shut the game. They should have took the game, and they got a field goal out of it. And I'm a prime believer. 1st and 10 from the 2. Hey, man, you got to score. I mean, they got the field goal out of it, but when you're leaving points on the table, everything in the NFL, because let's face it, nobody's getting beat 70-20. Everybody's not. There's no such thing. That's an aberration. Normally the scores. I mean, the NFL, you're not gonna be blowing everybody out every week.
No.
I mean, so when you look at the scores and look at the way the scoring disparity in the NFL, you're not going to see that big of a scoring disparity. So I'm a firm believer that you win by 1. That's a victory. Win by 1. In fact, they lost by 1. But anyway, the case 19-20 last week, they turned it around this week. So I thought that overall the Texans answered. I think they answered their own selves this week.
Yes, absolutely.
I thought that individually and collectively, I think they looked in the mirror and just felt like we let one get away, and so again this week, and Edwin, you can comment on this one. Again this week, that black and gold was very dominant in the stands today. I mean, because I'm coming into the stadium because it took me. I almost felt like Moses out in the desert trying to get into the stadium, man. But anyway, this was a tough crowd. I mean, and the Saints fans were here. The only thing different. This was in Houston, NRG, but for the being outside, coming in and looking around, this was another. I mean, you were fighting. The Texans fans made themselves known today. But the New Orleans Saints fans were here, just like the Steelers fans were a couple of weeks ago. So the black and gold was a dominant color inside NRG, and in particular, those folks out of New Orleans. And I think you mentioned that when you were fighting the traffic today, trying to get out of here.
Yeah, it was crazy. And again, I thought we had the most fans we have had inside the stadium this season, but part of that problem is a lot of the Texans fans are going, oh, well, I'll just sell my tickets and I'll stay out I'll keep my parking pass and I'll just stay out in the party area and and just enjoy the barbecue or the sausage or whatever we're making. cooking out and put a big screen up here by my parking place and sell my tickets. But what they don't realize, by staying out there in the parking lots, the tickets they sell are making it to where there are literally more visiting team fans in that stadium cheering their team on than there are Texans fans. And that should never happen.
Yeah, no, you would hope not. You would hope not, but I mean, let's face it. I mean, and I'm who am I to tell? This is the free enterprise system. Who am I to tell somebody not to sell their tickets, especially if they're gonna get more than face value for them? I mean, I understand the plight. You know, in fact, when I'm in a couple of weeks when the Texans, like I say, they're going on their bye week this week. I'm gonna be in Carolina, and I'm pretty sure my son's gonna be down there, and he's gonna be taking my brother-in-law and his uncle gonna host us, and he'll be sitting with his uncle in the stands. But my uncle has season ticket holders in Carolina, so it's gonna be interesting, man, how to understand that. Like he said, he's already sold one set of his tickets, but let's face it, this is what we do. That's why you got a second and a third level market, because whether it's Beyonce, Taylor Swift, or whatever, whatever the face value of the tickets, and we understand what the face value of tickets are. When the first Super Bowl, I think the tickets were what, $12?
Yep.
I think $12. Now, what the face value of an NFL? What's the face value of a seat for a Super Bowl now? What, $300-$400?
Yeah, I think that's close to what it is. And of course, they were reselling in Phoenix 50-yard line seats were $25,000 each.
Yeah. Yeah. I get 25. I'll go sit somewhere else and watch it and get in a big recliner and count my money too.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, before we get further along, let's take we'll take a quick break. Then we'll get back to listen to Coach D'Amico Ryans, because I mentioned earlier, we mentioned the fact about that red zone, and defensively, I think we're very proficient in the red zone today. But offensively, that was just me. That was an observation. I just think when you get a chance to score a touchdown, you need to score a touchdown. But hey, the victory is the victory, and that's the bottom line. But before we get back to that, let's hear from Mr. Ross, and then we'll get back to Coach Ryan.
Hello, I'm Ken Ross with the Ken Ross Insurance Agency. There are certain things that are important in our lives: our health, our safety, and our loved ones. With over 40 years of experience, I've seen just how important insurance can be. I value the importance of being a part of my community and being there when they need me. Insurance is important everywhere, but being here in South Texas, it is absolutely essential. From flood, home, auto, and life insurance, let the Ken Ross Agency be your agency of choice.
And to let the Ken Ross Agency be the agency of your choice, just dial 281-235-5952. Tell him Adolphus A.D. Moore said, I highly recommend that you give him a call. He's been a insurance business for a long time. In fact, one of the top agencies, not only in the city, in this state, but in the country. Outstanding agency. Again, the Ken Ross Agency. Let him be the agency of your choice. And I strongly encourage you to do that. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to let D'Amico, Coach Ryans, talk about the red zone proficiency, except we're talking about it from the standpoint of being able to score points. But here's what Coach Ryan had to say after I posed a question to him about the red zone.
Would you like probably could have put the game away for you on that particular series? Would that be some emphasis y'all gonna probably look at during the all period?
We won the red zone battle, right? We scored 2 times out of the red zone, and they did it. And that's the game. Do we want to score more? Of course. And I think credit to our offense for getting in the end zone when they did. We kicked field goals, and we just played together as a defense. Of course, we want to score every time, but it doesn't happen, right? You still have to stand up and play great ball, and that's what we did. Play together as a team today, and that resulted in a win.
Yeah, Elwin, D'Amico said, "Oh, I thought we, to his credit, like I said, we got the W. We got the W, and that meant something. So, like I say, the Texans over the New Orleans Saints today, 20-13. The bye week comes up at a good time. Hopefully, the likes of a Tank Dell, he can get off concussion protocol. And in fact, I think a lot of these guys just gonna get away. And I think, let's face it. Would I like to see a maybe a little bit later down the season? But you know what? If whatever time it comes at, I think right now, as far as the Texans, the fact that they get to go home and they don't have to worry about having this sour taste in their mouth of a loss.
Yep.
They get to have the sweet nectar of a victory on their palate till they get ready to come back into the building. I think they break after tomorrow, come in, do the film work, and then they'll break, and they'll probably be gone for a while. I'm pretty some coaches, because who knows, but we'll and obviously the Nick Casario is going to be, because we know he's going to be working the wires and everything. He's definitely between now and then the trade, because the trade deadline is coming up. What, end of this month? End of the month, yeah. So well, I think receiver wise, I think we come. We starting to see. We starting to see some guys that get some chances to play. Mechie, I'm just thinking more and more that we starting to get to see these guys come around. Nico, I was messing with Nico Collins today after the game, and I was, I've been messing with him. He's already scored a couple of touchdowns in the game, and I told him, I said, "Come on, man, you owe me 3." And we've been kidding about that, but I told him, I said, "Tell you what." After and he made some tough catches today. Literally, he made some tough catches today. I told him, I said, "Tell you what, I'll back off one touchdown request." I said, "But you keep making tough catches like you had today." And we sort of joked about it, but he said, "Hey man, who I had on me today," he said, I remember seeing this. I've been seeing this guy for a while, and I had to just stand up. I had to line up today and man up. And I'm going like, there's a pride that all these guys take in their profession. And I think, as far as Nico Collins is concerned, he made, I think, some couple of real tough catches today. And the fact, probably the best catch he got was after that initial CJ Stroud's initial interception.
Yep.
He was on the recovering end of that fumble right after that play. So that's probably one of his best receptions of the whole evening. Well, but being that's the case, but these guys, everybody loves a winner. But the thing about it is, this is a team in progress. This is a team that's building. This is a team that I think it's going to be more sooner than later. And I think I'm encouraged, even though CJ Stroud, got intercepted. We knew it was going to happen. I reiterated that. We went 14 quarters without a sack. That's a testament to that offensive line. And really, for 8 quarters, that was a makeshift offensive line. When Shaq Mason was the only established starter for the last couple of games CJ Stroud stayed up. And really, the touchdown pass to Woods, that touchdown pass to Woods, that pocket was real clean. The CJ was actually able to step up into the pocket, and because the Saints in themselves, man, they kept the Saints kept a lot of pressure on, but I think the offensive line, hats off to them, those guys again today. Even though they had they gave up a sack, I thought they kept CJ Stroud standing up for the most part, but when he got belted, he got belted today. Elwin, what you were looking? I think he had frozen for a little bit, man. You still there?
Uh-oh.
No, you
Yeah.
good. Keep going.
Well, I was going to say, talking about CJ, and I know you are just like I am. God is a very important part in your life, just like it is mine. That, to me, is the biggest thing, and I think that has a lot to do with C.J. Stroud's success. He came in today just like he does after every game when his press conference starts. No matter what the question is, he manages to work into his answer how much God has done for him. And the first words out of his mouth today when he was asked the first question, well, first off, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for giving me the talent and protecting me and allowing me to play this game I love. And to me, that's what makes this young man an all-around first-class guy. He's got the talent, but he's staying humble, and he realizes that he would be nothing without God. And that, to me, that just speaks volumes of what this young man's going to be able to do for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I concur wholeheartedly. I mean, and no, we're not getting ready to make this a 700 club for somebody got there. No, but you know what? We got to understand we don't do this all on our own. And anybody that thinks it is, there's evil in the world. I mean, it's obvious what's been happening over in Israel. So there's evil in this country. We've seen folks deniers and everything. But I'm gonna move it back to the sports venue. But folks, if you think you're doing this all on your own, you better check yourself, because none of this we do all on our own. And I'll just leave it at that. If that by the grace of God goes out, because that.
Yep.
And that's just I'll just leave it at that. Hey man, I know you're getting ready to get you on down the road. The closing comments from you. We'll get ready to wrap this puppy up.
Yeah, one other thing, and I did ask D'Amico about it in his press conference. To me, and of course I saw him all the years he was in Dallas, but Dalton Schultz had the best game of his career today. That guy was all over the place, had a long pass reception, and every time he turned around, it was Dalton Schultz catching a pass. That guy has been a huge addition at tight end for the Texans so far this season, and he is going to continue to be a playmaker all year long.
Yeah, I concur. I thought Schultz had a good game today. I thought all the receivers, because Tank Dell was out with a concussion, so
right.
And I think they obviously want to try to make Tank Dell become a big play producer. But you know what? That's enough talent on this receiver roster to go around. And what I've noticed, like I said, this is their 6th ball game. What I've noticed when these guys have had an opportunity to step up, they have stepped up. 3 and 3. I mean, there's obviously we can go back and nitpick games they lost. We can be nitpicky about the games they won, but the fact of the matter remains that they have won it, and and so we will be. I mean, I'm not like the coach with the clicker. I think last week, I think they had to have not going back to the religion. I think they did have to have a come to Jesus meeting, the defensive side of the ball, because Here's was a chance for you. Hey guys, if you say this is what the type of defense that you want to be, then you got to line up. You got to make things happen. You can't talk about it. You got to do it. And today they done it. They actually shut it down. And Hats off to him. Hey, man, final points from you as you get ready to, as you head into the sun and get there. And you got, I know you got to be over. You head to the federal courthouse tomorrow. So, no, they're not locking him up, folks. Before y'all start saying, what did he do?
Yeah, well, what I'm doing is I may be a juror on a copyright infringement case that's gone to U.S. Federal District Court in Marshall, Texas. Hoping I don't get on it, but who knows? I might. But final point, you were asking about that. I was talking to a couple of the guys that was walking back to the teal lot with me when we were headed back to our cars to leave the stadium. And we're all in agreement, and I know you will be too. The way this team is playing right now, the way they are improving week after week, there is absolutely no reason they cannot be in this division race all season long. They're going to be competitive all season long. And I really believe they have as good a chance as any of the other three teams in the division after game 17 is over with to win this AFC South. And of course, that would blow everybody's mind who thinks they know everything about the NFL, because as you know, nobody was giving them a chance to win more than maybe 5 to 7 games. But I believe this team can hang in there and fight to the finish and has a realistic chance of challenging and possibly even wrapping up the AFC South the way they're improving every week.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's nobody. I mean, obviously, I think they're going to go. I think they're going to go into Indianapolis, and when they take the Colts on, I think that they will. I think paybacks will be up there for them. I think they can go back into Indiana and win that game.
Yes.
I think that, of course, they hadn't faced the Titans yet, but
No.
let's face it. I put it like this: you and I both know with the Titans coming in, with either here or there, the Houston Oilers, the team that left him as the Oilers and became the Titans. I think that with Derrick Henry running from behind that line, you got to get ready to put your big boy pants on, put your big boy pads on. Because it's going, you're going to have to, you're going to have to hit them. You got to line up and got to play it today. But anyway, man, final points. Hey, man, good luck on the way in the rest back home, and we'll be in touch by week next week. I'll be working. I think I got a specialist in my work on. Don't expect I won't be on the corner next week, but there will be some things I'm working on. So just stay tuned. If not, I'll keep everybody posted. So on the AdMax Corner YouTube channel, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Hit a like, hit the subscribe button. If you're on the Houston Roundball channel and you're watching me over there, hey, go ahead and touch that one up. Remember, on the Roundball channel, we've had over 4 million views have watched different events on that channel. So, excuse me. Anyway, folks, I'm out of here. I'm going to turn Elwin loose, let him get on down the road, watch the highway patrolmen, and hey, watch everything. Hey, man, we'll be in touch, man. I appreciate you as always, man. So you take care.
We'll do. You too, AD, and we'll see you back here on the corner in a couple of weeks, I guess.
Yep, that's it. We will. All right, folks. As I get ready to go ahead and sign off here, again, the Texans go into the bye week with a sweet nectar of victory in their mouths and on their palates, and get a chance to sort of sit back and take stock of where they are now. Did we expect this team would be where they are now? If we're realistic with ourselves, probably not. But you know what? 300. They're at a 500 team. They're 3-3. So, take it for what it's worth. They've shown improvements week to week, even in the losses. So they come out of here with a victory today, going into the bye week. And as they go into bye week, we'll go into a bye week for a little siesta. So without further ado, this is your man, Adolphus A.D. Moore, high atop NRG Stadium, watching the logos of the Houston Texans on the 50-yard line, as they'll be out of here for a week, and we'll be back. So without further ado, ciao. Be careful out there. Enjoy this autumn weather. And folks, take care of love one another and not turn on one another. Just, hey, be kind and be gentle to one another. Oh, cold and flu season. If you hadn't got your flu shot, pneumonia shots, and those of y'all that still haven't even, you still think COVID-19 is still out there. It is still on the rampage. So no, if you haven't got your shots, get your shots. I'm out of here. Ciao, folks. Y'all take care, and we are done for the day. Again, the Texans 20, the New Orleans Saints 13. I'm out. See you.